Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is the Real Housewives of Dubai. The Real Housewives of Dubai, season 1, episode 2 happened this past Wednesday. It started off with Sara teaching her child about the Arabic culture and stuff like that. And she was saying that when she was a little girl, her mom and her dad. Her mom and her dad taught her about the culture, and her little boy really wasn't interested in it, and so she was saying that back in the day we used to sit on the floor and eat. He said, "Sit on the floor and eat." I really don't want to sit on the floor and eat. And he said, "Yeah, you gotta sit. We're gonna sit on the floor and eat." And she said, while they were making their, I guess, lunch or breakfast or whatever it is, she asked her son, "Is cooking only for women?" And stuff. He said, "No, cooking is for both." And yeah, most people don't tell their children that. They go by the old way that the wife is supposed to cook, and then when the man gets to living on his own, he got to figure out how to cook. But some people do. In some families they teach all the children to cook, and then in some families they just look at the girls are supposed to be the one to do the cooking. But anyway, little boy didn't want to sit on the floor, and so she sat on the floor and they were eating. And she said, "Well, some people do eat with their hands. Some people sure do eat with their hands." And then it switched to the next scene. Where Lesa was meeting up with Brooks for lunch, and so they got to talking. They got to talking about what happened at Nina's party and stuff like that. And then Brooks was saying that she didn't know why Chanel was acting like that, because they just want to talk about what was going on at the party. And then Lesa told Brooks that she was wrong for taking up with Stansberry against Chanel. She knows that Chanel and Stansberry really don't get along, and why was she doing that? And then Brooks was saying, the way Chanel was acting, she knows Chanel from back in the day, but from the way Chanel was acting, that wasn't the Chanel that she knew. That wasn't the Chanel she knew. And she was saying, well, yeah, from what Stansberry was saying, it kind of offended Chanel and stuff like that. And so Brooks was saying, well now she kept on trying it, and then Brooks was saying, well, I was surprised by, Lesa was telling Brooks, I was surprised by your attitude, because you and Nina are more closer to Chanel than Stansberry. And why were y'all taking up on Stansberry's side? And Brooks couldn't explain why she was on their side. And Lesa said she was really surprised at Nina, because she said Nina and Stansberry didn't get along when they first got out, when they first came out in the women's group in their circle. And then after that, it switched to Stansberry. Switched to Stansberry at her house, talking with her husband, and she was saying that they're getting ready to move out of I think the house they're in, and they're gonna move into another house. And she was saying in Dubai, you can't be self-employed and own a house. You got to have like a husband, or you got to have or you got to have something like that. For some reason, they don't want a self-employed person to buy a house. So she was saying that about a house, and she said she had to put like half of it down. I think she said 30 some $1,000 and half or something down because they don't want people to be self-employed buying a house. And she said that what was going on. And she also said a lot of people thought that she got a lot of money from her divorce, and she said no, because she got her divorce in Dubai, she didn't get no whole lot of money. So it was like she had to kind of start all over with her businesses and stuff like that. And then after that part, the doorbell ring, and it was a Brooks, and Brooks came in, and when Brooks came in, Stansberry husband gave her a dog and said, "Oh, this is a dog." She said, "Yeah, these are my little puppies. I want you to see my little puppies." And then she asked him if she wanted anything. He said, "Oh, your little puppy is so cute." So she sat down at the table with her little puppy, and then the doorbell rang again, and then it was Nina, and Nina came in. Was it Nina? No, it wasn't Nina. It was Sara. Sara had came in, and so they all got to talking, and they all got to talking at the table. And so Brooks told Stansberry that how she had lunch with Lesa, and how Lesa was saying that she was surprised by how she took up for her, and how she took up for her against Chanel when she was friends with Chanel. And then she said, well, I told her it was Chanel's attitude, the way Chanel came into the party, and what she did this, what she did that. And then Stansberry said, well, yeah, y'all know that me and Chanel don't get along and stuff like that. And then she was taking stuff out on me because I didn't invite her to my party. And then that's when Sara chimed in and said, when Brooks said that you was gonna only invite people that was important, that might have triggered Chanel. Because she's going through trauma. And then Stansberry tried to say a snide shade. Well, just because she's just going through trauma, I'm going through trauma too. I can't be going through my trauma and her trauma too. And so Sara was trying to take up for Chanel and stuff like that. And so it was like a lot of times she was saying a lot of times you can say something that might trigger somebody, but Stansberry and Brooks didn't want to hear, and they talking about the attitude, and she was saying, well, I've been through a lot of trauma and stuff, but she said, but I got help for it and stuff like that. And Brooks said, yeah, I done told Chanel she need to go to therapy and stuff like that. And then after that, I think her husband came in and said the lunch was ready, and then they got ready to sit down and eat lunch, and then the scene switched to where let me get some water right quick. The next scene is Chanel meets up with Nina, and Chanel had on this white furry coat, and she was all dressed to the nines. She had this white furry coat. Now I know they say sometimes in certain seasons of Dubai it get hot or it get cold, but I don't know what season it was. Maybe it was the winter, but she had on this like white furry coat, Chanel. And then Nina came in dressed casually and looked sound like a sundress and some sandals or whatever. And so they ordered some drinks, and then they sit down at this restaurant. And they talk. And so Nina was telling Chanel that she had a talk with Brooks, and they were all talking about the party, and they were talking about how she acted, and she was saying that she was surprised that the way she acted. And then that's when Chanel told her that when Brooks said that Stansberry only invited people. I'm saying Stansberry to like I say, uh, let people know who I'm talking about. When I say Stansberry, I'm talking about the white Caroline. When I say Brooks, I'm talking about the black Caroline. Anyway, she said that when she said that she was unimportant, she said that kind of triggered her. She said because her daddy, she told Nina that her daddy used to beat her to the pulp, and she felt that because her daddy was doing that to her, abusing her, doing that A word to her, that she felt unimportant. She had to go through that for years and years, and she was telling Nina that she was was gonna go off with her daddy, but her older sister told her that if you go off with daddy, daddy gonna marry you off to somebody, and she didn't want to do that, so she just stayed with her older sister. And so and so Nina kind of felt sorry for her. And Nina said, "Well, yeah, I understand about you being triggered and stuff." She said, you know, when I first got introduced to Stansberry, I didn't think we were gonna match. I didn't think we were gonna gel either. She said, at first I said Stansberry wasn't my cup of tea, and then after I met her and I got to know her, I said, well, yeah, maybe we can work it out. And she said, Chanel, maybe you and Stansberry can have a sit down and talk. And then Chanel said, that's if she wants to talk to me. She might not want to talk to me. And then so Nina said, just give it a try, just give it a try. And then it switched to the next scene where Lisa was in the grocery store shopping, and she was shopping for food for her Thanksgiving dinner. They're gonna have two Thanksgiving dinners. Nina gonna have one, and Lisa gonna have one. But while she was in the store shopping, she had bought some cookies, and she told her son, "Don't eat but one cookie." And while she was in the store, she got a FaceTime from Nina, and Nina was asking her, you know, what was going on and how was she doing. She said she was doing all right. Said she was in the store shopping for groceries for her Thanksgiving. She said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I had a conversation with Chanel, and I told her maybe her and Stansberry could kind of get together and be alone and talk about stuff." She said, "Oh, y'all did." She said, "I told her how at first I wasn't cool with Stansberry, but after we got to talking, after me and Caroline got to talking, I told her it was what you call it." She said, I don't mean to cut you off, Nina." But I gotta hurry. She said, "But I gotta hurry up and go. I'll talk to you later." And then when she got through, she said, "Christian, did you eat all those cookies?" And Sly Production showed where one cookie had two cookies had at the bottom. And so she said, "You're not supposed to eat all them cookies." And then next thing you know, they showed Nina's Thanksgiving party. She had a Thanksgiving party at this big fancy restaurant, and she was saying they don't celebrate Thanksgiving that much over there in Dubai. She said it's celebrated more in America, and she said she had been celebrating it for years. She just wanted to get her friends and stuff together, so she got her two kids together with her husband and stuff like that, and then she invited Sara. And Sara came with her little son, and they talked about the party too. And she was saying that, yeah, she had talked to Stansberry, and she had talked to Brooks, and they all said they didn't know why Chanel was acting like that at the party. She should have been acting like that. And then that's when Sara brought up that she told Caroline and Brooks that maybe she was triggered by something. And she said when she talked to Chanel by herself, Nina said that she did go through some kind of trauma, and Sara said that she realized that, and then Sara said that even her mama is not rushing for her to get married. She said she'll be dating for a while, and then her daughter, I think it was her daughter or son, said yes, because she said, "Oh yeah, I've been married 2 times already." And then the son said no, 3. She said no, it's 2. And then after that it switched to Brooks. And it switched to Brooks having her Thanksgiving party, and then she was in the kitchen cooking, and she said she likes to. She said cooking calms her down, calms her nerves down, and she liked cooking and stuff. So she was in there cooking her own food, and she said she could have called somebody to cook her food, but she decided to cook her own food, and so she told her maid to watch the food while she get ready, and then she watched the food while she got ready and stuff, and then the maid told her guest was coming, and they arrived, and it was Chanel and it was Chanel and her son and her husband. And then Brooks came out to meet them and said, "Oh, what is this? What is this?" Chanel had brought a little goat, and that was the title of the thing, the goat. And anyway, she said, "Why you bring a goat?" She said, in my home country, I think she said her home country is Shema, is she said her home country is she said in her home country Somalia. You know, if somebody really like you and they're a friend, they bring a gift, and she brought her a gift, and the gift was a goat, and they all sat down at the table, and they kind of talked a little bit about the party, and she was saying how she had told Nina about Stansbury, and how what Stansbury said to her kind of offended her and stuff. And she said, "Yeah, I had talked to Brooks too about that." And she said, "Me and Brooks had lunch, and I was surprised that Brooks was on Stansbury's side along with Nina, which they didn't get along." And she said, "Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that." And so they got to talking, and then she was saying, "Well, you know, I didn't really know about dating. I didn't really know what love was until I met my husband." So I met my husband in 1997, and we've been strong since. We've been 20 years strong. I said, "Oh, yeah, Brooks was talking about that." Next thing you know, they was getting ready to eat, and somebody said, "Where the goat?" The goat had some kind of way jumped in the water in the pool, and so Lisa's husband and Chanel's son was trying to get him out, and they were saying, "You got him, you got him." And then he said, "Yeah, I think I got him." So he went over there and he got the goat out the thing. And then while they was talking and they was getting ready to leave, she said, "Well, only thing that my kids can go for the goat would be for a pet." And they said, "Where the goat? Where the goat?" And they said they think the goat ran out. They think the goat ran out the gate. The gate was kind of half open, and so it switched to the last scene. It switched to the last scene where Chanel and Sarah were meeting up for lunch, and then Sarah had told Chanel what she had told Brooks and Lisa when they had their lunch, and she was saying, "Yeah. I told Sarah. Sarah told Chanel. She said, I told Stansbury and Brooks that the way that you probably was acting a certain way because of something they said that you probably didn't like or triggered you because you had a trauma, and you told me about your trauma." And she said Stansbury said that she got enough trauma of her own. She can't be dealing with other people's trauma. And then Chanel said, that's why we can't get along. We can't get along. She doesn't understand. She think I'm unimportant. That did, when somebody tells you that you're unimportant and said the words you're unimportant, that did trigger me. That did trigger me. And then Sarah said, by me being a life coach and a therapist, I think you need therapy. And she said, and she said, "Yeah, Lisa also told me I might need to go to a therapist and stuff like that." And then she said, "Well, I don't know. I'll try it. I'll try and see if it worked." And then when it got to the Chanel, when it got to the confessional, Chanel said, "I'll try it, but I don't think that's gonna work for me." And then the show went off. This is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a Ti is. I am out.